Despite all the shelves of manga behind me, weeb shit isn't my only interest. I'm also a fan of sports, and with the exception of the Seattle Kraken, I tend to root for teams based in Houston. So today I'm ranking all Houston professional sports teams solely based on their name and not based off their performance, because we all know which ones are F tier. So no college or high school teams, no teams that still exist but no longer are based in Houston. And I'm only really doing relevant teams, so sorry to all the Houston Mud Turtle fans. You don't exist. So let's crack open a cold one and get right into it. Before we jump into this, let's show a little love to the teams who are no longer with us. This wouldn't be a Houston sports teams video without immediately starting off with an asterisk. The Colt 45s are still alive and thriving as the Houston Astros, but as the oldest professional team in all of Houston, it's only right that I dead name the Astros. Anyways, as a Texan, you already know we care more about our Second Amendment rights than we do about the safety of our children in schools. So the gun that won the West is a cold ass tagline for the first team of the video, A tier. So the reason why the Seattle Kraken is my hockey team of choice is because Houston doesn't have a hockey team anymore. We lost our team back in 2013. Technically, there was two Houston Aeros teams. I don't know how to pronounce it. But this isn't a video talking about the history of the teams. This is strictly just the name. But being named after the Wright brothers, with airplanes, obviously that's going to have a big impact on space with spaceships. And that kind of works with Space City. So I think B tier is a fair spot. Skeeters is slang for mosquitoes. I fucking hate mosquitoes. They changed their name. We'll talk about that later. C tier. Despite winning 4 consecutive titles, that still wasn't enough to make people care about the WNBA. Rest in peace, the Houston Comets. You have more chips than your NBA counterpart, but literally no one cares. However, the Houston Comets is a cool ass name, and I think that deserves A tier. The term roughneck tends to refer to someone who works a hard manual job. It's also a term that tends to be used on people who work on oil rigs. And after the Oilers left Houston, Houston was in need of a football team. However, someone didn't catch the name that you should give your teams a cool name. So the XFL went with the Roughnecks. Not exactly the most Houston related name, however it's still the best name for any active Houston football team. That's not saying much. B tier. Look, I can make so many jokes about women's soccer, but I'm above that. What I'm not above is making fun of stupid ass names. Calling your team the Dash is like calling your basketball team the Dribble or your football team the Tackle. It's not creative, it's just boring. Kinda like women's soccer. D tier. So the last time I played Overwatch, I had an experience so bad that not only did I stop playing Overwatch, but I stopped playing first person shooters overall. So needless to say, I was pretty surprised to learn that Houston's only real notable esports team was an Overwatch team. And when I learned this, I kind of thought to myself, I'm never watching a match. Despite that, Outlaws is still a pretty cool name. It's not exclusively Houston, but when you think of the Wild West, you kind of think of Cowboys and Outlaws. And I don't mean the gay Cowboys, I mean the cool ones. But it's a cool name nonetheless. B tier. Remember when I said the Skeeters rebranded? Well, the Sugarland Space Cowboys is the best goddamn rebranding ever. Not only does it have the Space City thing by just saying space in the name, but it also has the yeehaw part by saying Cowboys, Space Cowboys. It's so good. Oh my god, it's fucking perfect. S tier. The Oxford Dictionary defines Dynamo as a machine for converting mechanical energy into electrical energy. A generator. Which kind of works with the whole Space City thing, because I assume Rockets have Dynamo generators. I don't really know. It kind of works, so I would give it A tier, except for the fact that apparently it's a British term. Uncle Sam wouldn't let that shit slide. B tier. Dog shit. Actual dog shit. I thought the dash was incredibly uncreative, but the Texans have the most uncreative name for the worst football team. It's sad, but F tier. The Astros, how I love the name. The name immediately makes the mind think of space. It's perfect. Or at least it was. Look, I know I said that the performance of the teams weren't gonna matter, but when the whole 2017 World Series debacle happened, Astros was too easy to insult, man. They got us with asterisks and the fucking Trastros. It was brutal out there, man. But we came back. 2022 was our fucking year. And I'm hoping 2023 is again, because I'm gonna talk so much fucking shit on Twitter and I can't wait. If it wasn't so easy to insult, it would be immediate S tier. However, the insults were too easy. It's gotta go into A tier. Sorry, Astros. So I'm a little biased here, but I don't really care. It's my video. Basketball is my favorite sport, and my favorite sports team ever is the Houston Rockets. NASA built rockets to go to the moon. Yeehaw, Whataburger, Texas. It's S tier. Well, that's about all I got for today. This is the official rankings for the teams. If the Rockets could win a championship in my lifetime, that'd be great. I don't really need anything else in life. That's all. Bye.